Hey, Shalom, giving all the praise, all the honor, and all the glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha HaKodash. Double honor to the elders, a great millstone who taught us this truth. A sincere Shalom, Labakarim, Shal Yasha'Allah. That's peace to the elect of the nation of Israel. And we got some breaking news. They've been pumping this for about 2 hours now. One of America's, if it's not a number one, a number two jet has been shot down in Iran, which is strange because we've seen other video where pilots had to eject because they were shot down, and it was ended up in certain areas around Iran, but they're reporting this one. Now, it could be because certain special forces, as you can see in this plane, you're looking at this is a search plane. They found one of the pilots, the other one is missing. Allegedly. All this is allegedly because, like I said before, we've seen other videos and they didn't put this out in the airwave like they're doing this one. So there's a lot of action taking place. It's not looking good for Trump right now. We know his propaganda tool, which is this media, will be used for this next major event. Maybe they might use this, as a reason they're gonna, drop the hammer on Iran. We don't know. But let's check this out.
Friday, April 3rd, 2026. And I have some breaking news to share with you guys. Right now it is 13:45 Eastern Time here in the United States. And we have some major breaking news coming in from Iran. So Iran shot down a US F-15 fighter jet, and 2 of the crew members on the fighter jet ejected. One of them was found by US Special Forces, and the other one is still missing. So I wanted to update you on this critical breaking news story that's just coming in the last couple of hours. And what you're looking at here is video footage of a U.S. Special Operations Search and Rescue plane flying over Iran at low altitudes, searching for one of the missing crew members. So one of 2 crew members of a U.S. fighter jet that was shot down over Iran was located and rescued by U.S. Special Forces, and the search for the second is ongoing. An Israeli official and a second source with knowledge of the situation told Axios. Iran is also hunting for the crew and has asked civilians in the area to join the search, offering a reward if they're found.
It's a lot for these commercials.
I am very picky when it comes to subscriptions, and I like to think I keep up with them pretty well. But once I downloaded Rocket Money, they let me know I had been paying for not just a subscription to a streaming service I don't use anymore, but 2 subscriptions to a streaming service I don't use anymore. 2 separate subscriptions.
Wow. Israel is helping the U.S. with intelligence in order to locate the other crew member, the Israeli official said. The 2 crew members of the F-15 fighter jet ejected safely after being struck by Iranian fire, the sources said. U.S. Special Forces located one of the crew members and rescued him alive on Iranian territory. An Israeli official said Israel canceled planned strikes in Iran so as not to hamper the search and rescue efforts. Iranian media was first to report that a jet had been shot down. Iranian state TV told Iranians that anyone who located the U.S. troops would be rewarded by the government. This is the first time since the beginning of the war that a U.S. fighter jet was shot down by enemy fire.
See, now,
White House press
that's the strange part right there, because we've seen other videos where pilots had landed, successfully. They wasn't injured, but they were definitely coming out of the parachute. They was ejected from their plane. So will they be using this in the near future? We're gonna wait and see. But this is the time to walk circumspectly out here and be on point, be on guard, because this man is up to something. Let me just let me just read this real quick. This is definitely the time, keep your eyes open, be focused. This is Ephesians 5 verse 15 says, see then that you walk circumspectly. And this word circumspect, it's a root word. Spec is to look, to scope, and circle is around, meaning you're looking around. You're observing things, not just your area, but watching these videos, staying focused on the signs of the time, knowing where you at, because this devil is tricky for those that don't know what's going on. But for us that's in the light, we're not in darkness. We know that moves are being made behind the scenes, to bring in that new world order, to put the final pieces, the final touches in before this mark of the beast hit. So they'll be using a lot of things, a lot more things are gonna speed up, in the upcoming weeks. So pay attention. It says, see then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools. And the majority of Americans are fools. You can't even talk to these people. It's just the elect communicating with the elect, or the hopeful elect communicating with the hopeful elect. And then return, the non-elect is just going to be casualties of this final war, of the destruction of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. But those that's in the light, we're not walking like fools. So every man, as well as the women that know this knowledge at this time, you ain't supposed to be out here living like you part of the 2/3 or part of the heathens. We walking like every minute could be your last, because we at the final hour. We at the countdown of this thing. And this man is moving. But wise. So don't walk as fools, but wise. And where's that wisdom? Wisdom is coming from the heavens, the fourth dimension. So we got to walk like we carrying $1 trillion package, which is this information, these prophecies. Redeeming the time, because the days are evil. Wherefore be not unwise, but understand what the will of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah is. And we know his will, his determination is to gather the nations, to bring them for judgment, rescue the 1/3, consummate the marriage between the elect and Yahweh Shah, and bring in the kingdom of heaven. So we walk in like this information. We have a more sure word of prophecy, giving all the praise, all the honor, and all the glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem Shalom.